Hey folks, Sean at Freedom Fighter Tactical. It's time for the latest status of business and inventory update here around September 18th. Let's get started right now. Yeah, and I say around September 18th because I don't know if I'm going to get to publish it today or not. I am recording it here on September 18th. It's Wednesday, the hump day. Welcome to the channel. We are the leader in Benelli M4 parts and accessories since 2008. Our product catalog is growing by leaps and bounds. We'll talk about a couple of the new things that have showed up over the last week. And we are here for you. You can reach me at the phone number on the website. You can text or you can email me. You can call me, of course. Texting is my favorite. There's also a text feature on the website. All of that goes to my phone. Just select one and we will be off and running. I'm here to answer your questions and help you out in any way necessary. So what's going on here at Freedom Fighter Tactical? It's been a huge week since last Wednesday. We have dropped the Freedom Fighter Tactical flashlight mounts. They are side specific. You either choose left side or right side, and you've got a QD and a flashlight attachment platform. And you can, it's all going to be on the left side, which is typical for right-handed shooters, or it's all going to be on the right side, which is typical for left-handed shooters. Normally, you're putting the devices, particularly the flashlight, on the side of the gun where your thumb is so that you can reach it and with ease. Yeah, they're great, and we've sold a ton of them since they released. Of course, we have had a void for the last 2 years for the most part on flashlight mounts, and finally, we waited long enough. We were waiting for a restock of what we used to sell, and it just, we're pushing 2 years here as we approach Christmas in January. So since we received, in fact, it's been more than 2 years since we received our last batch, but we've been sold out of them for about 2 years almost. And it's just time that we did our own. They are glorious. They are complete. They come with you've got the mount itself, you've got the 1913 Picatinny rail, and then you've got the Scout Pro attachment. It all comes in one package, so you have everything you need. You don't have to try to guess at what you might need or come back later for something you didn't realize you didn't get. It's all in one package, ready to go. You put it together the way you need to put it together, and it's glorious. We've also had, which I think is actually more, really much more cool, I guess, is the Freedom Fighter Tactical 70085 FF. It's the American version of the collapsible stock. It is glorious. It has been like a 4-year project. We've been working on them for a very long time. They are just beautiful. And you know what? They're a little pricey. I get it. You can get OEM for a few $100s more. We still have people that are buying the US made, and I am actually surprised at the numbers in the first week. So people are snatching those up. It's a very nice thing. I really appreciate your support. You can't make these things inexpensively. I mean, you'd have to make 10,000, 20,000 units to drive the price down. I'm not even making 1,000 units. So, the price is high. It is what it is. I get it, but they are wonderful. It counts as a 922R part. It counts as one 922R part for those of you guys who are interested in 922. But anyway, the Skeleton Eye stock is one 922R part, and it's glorious. And I build them myself. I put them together on that table behind me, or at my work table at my warehouse, and I, ensure functionality, make sure everything looks great. They are handmade. There could be small little imperfections somewhere here or there, but it's usually, I wouldn't send them out to you if it was anything substantial, but they're handmade, folks. Anything is handmade. They're not identical coming out of the process. They're not, perfect in every way, and every single one is exactly the same. They're all unique because they are handmade, and they're made with love and care. I mean, I spent 7 months on just the coating. I mean, just trying to dial in the coating. So I've put a lot of time and effort into them, and they're beautiful. Oversized bolt release buttons, they are in stock right now. I've got black and I've got MP3, but both are getting low. It's kind of one of those things that everybody gets. titanium 7-round mag tubes are back in stock. They're just glorious, folks. We haven't had them for 8 or 9 months. I'm going to try to make it so that never happens again. It's very difficult to get ahead on the titanium tubes due to the cost and the time involved to make them. It's just a tremendous amount of money and time that goes into these things. But that's the part I would use. I would not have a steel tube on my shotgun if I'm building the best one I can build. So titanium are in. Beretta, I did drop what I call the 1301 shorty, the shorty follower. They're a little shorter than the OEM followers that come on the guns. When Beretta first released the 1301, they had a follower in there that was a little bit long, and for all intents and purposes, that follower was perfectly fine. It was no different than any other follower that any shotgun company had put out there. But over the last few years, there's been this theme online on the forums and everywhere else that people can't get 7 shells in their shotgun. And probably 9 times out of 10, or it's an ammo issue. The ammo varies in length, brand to brand, lot to lot. It can happen to any brand. It can happen to any lot where they're crimping it a certain way or whatever. It's just, just that lot, however many hundreds of thousands of rounds of ammo that comes out of a lot, they're all crimping a little bit longer. And so by the time you put the 7th shell in, it almost goes in, but not quite. Happens with Benelli, not as much. But anyway, everybody seems to think it's the spring or the follower's fault. Well, it can be remedied with a shorter follower. And so I guess you could blame the follower. I mean, it's legitimate. So I made the shorty follower for Beretta. I worked with a friend of mine in Indiana to kind of dial it in, and we got it. I mean, it released, and it's glorious. I've got a bunch of them out there already, and people are loving them. I have heard, just as a caveat, I have heard that the newer 1301s are coming with a shorter follower that's much like my shorty. So you might check and see if you need it or not. I don't want you to buy it if you don't need it. I love selling parts. I love it. I love selling parts. They go out the door, they go one direction, but I want to sell it for the right reason. I don't want you to buy a 1301 shorty follower and you ended up not needing it. So you might double check your gun and see which one you've got, if you've got the longer and the shorter. I don't have the measurements handy in my head. I don't even think I have them on the website, but compare on the pictures on the website that I have. You can tell, and you can kind of see what the difference is. But anyway, they're beautiful. I think I got them in red, green, and black, if I'm not mistaken. So, black trigger kits are in stock, but they're going quick. So are the NP3s. Get them while we got them, folks. A lot of this stuff is while we got it, you need to get it. And things are picking up. And with the election heating up, and now they're starting new COVID. Every time you turn around, there's a new disease to screw with everybody's temperament. So, gun sales, gun parts, everybody starts amassing their whatever they need. And that's happening right now. We got through the summer. Summer got a little slow there for a month or so, but it's like not quite COVID panic buying, but we're getting really close. Recoil tubes. We're just getting cleaned out of recoil tubes. If you need it, get it. Got the flashlight mounts in, collapsible stocks in. I did some 70077 grip assemblies. That's another thing. I've got a ton of stuff at NP3 right now. A ton of stuff. All the flashlight mount stuff is at NP3. So we're going to have NP3 flashlight mounts here in a month or two. I've got collapsible stocks. I only sent 4 or 5 collapsible stocks to NP3 just to break the ice. I wanted to see what the finish was before I sent them 20 or 30 or 50 of them, because NP3 is just expensive. It's a very expensive coating. It's a connoisseur's item, but they are going to be beautiful. They're going to be amazing. I'm quite confident of that. Working on the Limb Saver butt pads. They're at the end of the year at Limb Saver. They're doing inventory and wrapping up their last, the last quarter or however they do their bookkeeping. It's coming to an end. I've never been part of the corporate world. I know the corporate world, their year kind of comes to an end sometime in the fall or the early winter. And so they've been very, very busy, and doing Limb Saver butt pads for our collapsible stocks is not a high priority. I'm sure for them, because they're not going to sell 10,000 pieces to me on the initial run. They'll probably sell 500 or 1,000 pieces. So it's a niche project, and it's, you know, and they do seem very eager to do it. But on the other hand, when they have to manage their time and look at what's important on a day-to-day basis, it's one of those things that keeps getting bumped. So in the meantime, I am putting OEM butt pads on the collapsible stocks that I send out. But in the future, there will be the limb saver butt pads. I think it's 10403 is the part number, and I don't know if I'll sell them individually or if I'll just make it exclusive to come with the stock. But those of you who buy a collapsible stock now, one of my OEM or Freedom Fighter Tactical original USA made collapsible stocks, if I'm not selling the 10403 collapsible stock edition individually, I will offer it to you, having bought the collapsible stock already, so that if that's what you'd like to have, you can have it. So I've got going back to recoil tubes, I've got kits. I'm really running out of the single tubes, but I've got kits. If you need the 6 position, the American made 3 position, or the 1 position if you're in California or any of the blue states where a functioning collapsible stock is not allowed, I've got those in kits right now. I don't even think I have any single tubes of those right now. I've got single tubes of the original Benelli 3 position, and I think I've got single tubes of the assembly. And of course, I've got assemblies of the 6 position and the 3 position and the 1 position. But recoil tubes, folks, when shit hits the fan and people start going nuts, recoil tubes are one of the first things that everybody gets. That and magazine tubes, and you know, it just begins there and goes everywhere else. Sorry I haven't been doing more videos lately. I've just been so busy. I'm kind of doing my own end of the year thing. I've revamped my warehouse. I'm finding all sorts of stuff that I didn't realize I still had. I'm organizing and getting streamlined, and I will be making much more video content as we go through the end of the year here and into next year. More shorts, more Instagram, more YouTube. It's all in the works, but I've just been scrambling on product. Oh, that's another thing, product development. So I have decided, and I met with my people yesterday, and this is totally within their wheelhouse, but we are going to have M-LOK accessories, flashlight mounts, and sling attachments in the very near future. I would say very near future might be 2 to 3 months, but I met with my developers yesterday, my engineers, at one of my outfits, which this is totally up their alley. And we are going to get M-LOK accessories for those of you who have the Benelli shotgun with the new fore end on it, or you're using the Hale Industries, Strike Industries, Hale, anybody using those, we're gonna have attachments for you guys. And we're probably gonna look at doing some attachments in other places for various things in both, in M-LOK and, more traditional fasteners. But I've got so much in the works. It's incredible. Followers for the NP3 coating did get tabled a little bit. I know a few of you are waiting on that, but I'm pushing on the gas again on that. I had to get through the stocks and the flashlight mounts and a few other things, but a lot of good things happening here at Freedom Fighter Tactical. Perfecting perfection. Our parts are second to none. They are the best you are going to find anywhere else. I mean, hands down, it's what I do. I labor over this. I spend hours and hours, and I've shelved projects. The flashlight mounts, I could have released the flashlight mounts 3-4 months ago, but I wasn't happy with the top half. I wasn't happy with the bottom half, the QD half. I wasn't happy with what we had done, and I put some money into it and missed something. I actually missed something. It happens. And, and I had to eat that. I put those pieces aside, and it ran the project another 4 months. It's because I'm not going to release something I don't want to release. I'm not going to release something that is problematic, or, it's just, we just go over it and over it and over it. And that's another reason why I spend so much time before I release something and keep it close to the vest, is because you know, I like to work through these problems, and even as much time as I spend on it, every once in a while you still miss something. And with the flashlight mount, I missed something until I actually had it in my hand and had a first run of these. I just didn't catch something that I just decided I can't sell that. It's just not what I want to sell. I could sell it. I could have sold it. And most people would have been like, they didn't even care. And only a few people might have been like, he should have done this. But I didn't want to sell it. I had to wait. And same thing with the stocks. I could have sold them 7 months ago, but I was worried about the coating. I had to have the coating the way I wanted the coating, period. It just wasn't going to settle on anything else. So anyway, folks, that's a wrap. Thank you to all the first responders out there. Thank you to all the people working in our armed forces. Greatly appreciate you all, men and women out there. Be safe, come home safe, and I will talk to you in the next video. Take care, folks.